All right, just in, the death toll from Hurricane Helene is rising. 102 people have now been confirmed dead, and that number will almost certainly rise. It is already the third deadliest hurricane to hit the United States in the last 50 years. The storm left a trail of destruction in at least 6 states. In North Carolina, the governor just told Kate that the storm wiped entire towns off the map. CNN's Maribel Gonzalez is in Asheville, North Carolina, which has seen so many problems. What are you seeing there this morning?
Good morning, John. Yeah, the devastation is very, very much here in Asheville, North Carolina. Take a look right behind us. The rainfall has subsided, but we're now beginning to understand the damage that are left behind. This is just one of the hundreds of roads that have been closed and that remain closed this morning. And you can see why. Look at the heavy, heavy sludge, the mud on the streets, making them impassable to people walking by and also to cars. We saw some of them slipping and sliding, creating very dangerous conditions. Now, right now, this morning, as the sun has come up, we've seen people, groups of people going into these businesses. We're actually surrounded by a lot of small businesses. They're going in to assess the damage, but we know that most of them are completely destroyed. We're told that this may not just take weeks, but years for people to rebuild. People going back to the places where they worked, saying they may not have a job to go back to. So the impacts are definitely long lasting. And all the while, people are dealing with power outages. They don't have running water. Internet and cell service are also out. We definitely spoke with some residents about what it's been like for the last few days here on the ground. Take a listen.
Well, we don't have any power. We haven't had any since Friday morning. We had water, running water, but we can't drink it. And now the pressure is so low that there's no water coming out anymore, really. It's indescribable. I don't know, it just was covered in litter and trees and mud, and it's stinky, and it was all the way up the street up here. It just looked like the bottom of a river.
Now, we know that over the weekend there were around 600 reports and counting of missing persons, people calling the county to say, I haven't been able to get in touch with my loved one. The good news is the authorities are saying, you know, keep calm, keep holding on to hope, because as those cell phone and those communication services are restored, hopefully they will be able to communicate and reach out to their loved ones. Another thing that we're dealing with here, John, is power outages. In North Carolina alone, over 450,000 customers have been impacted by these power outages, and we still do not know when they can expect to have the lights back on.
Yeah, it's not a matter of lines being knocked down. It's a matter of lines being completely swept away. There may just be no power lines in some places. Maribel Gonzalez in Asheville, thank you so much for being there. Please keep us posted. Sarah?
All right, we are finally getting a look at some of the greatest damage left by Hurricane Helene. Look at this before and after of the beautiful little village of Chimney Rock. Just up the road from there, our next guest woke up early Friday to the sound of boulders smashing into the bridge outside their house. And then they watched as that bridge completely washed away, their neighbors' homes washed away, and somehow, miraculously, they were able to escape. Tyler Covarrubias and Lizzie Brewer took that video that you are looking at right now with those raging waters. They are joining us now live and safe from South Carolina. First off, how are you two doing this morning?
We're doing all right. We're getting better. It's been really difficult, and it's hard to put into words, but PTSD is kicking in.
I'm so sorry to hear that. And this is going to be a long road. We are looking at the roads and how many of them have been washed away. Hundreds have been washed away. How did you two manage to get out with, I understand, your two kitties?
So it was all a spur of the moment thing. That couple, Dylan and Larson, that came across the bridge, they had a cat as well. They got inside to our house, and we sat there for a little bit. And before we knew it, it was dire that we needed to get out. And we had gotten the cat bags ready, and that's all we were worried about at the moment, is saving our animals. And we were looking around at things, and that's when I really realized that none of what we own matters right now. And our lives, their lives, our cats' lives, that's all we have.
Lizzie, I'm curious, describe, we're looking at some of the video that you all took, and this is some of a photo, Lizzie, that you took of just mud everywhere where it usually would be like a front yard. Describe what you saw as you left your community.
Leaving, it was just unrecognizable when we were going around just looking to see if anybody was okay. I drive those roads all the time and I just couldn't even picture where we were anymore. And just knowing that nobody is ever going to be able to live there, probably. Most of the people who have built their lives there aren't going to be able to finish their lives there. And it's just really horrifying. It's sad because there's still people there that are really hard to get to, and we're really worried about all the people that are still there. And that's why we want to do this, is so that hopefully this can reach the right people to really go and help. Because a lot of people that still live there can't physically get out. And it is hard for any emergency personnel to get in. So we just want to be able to bring this to attention so those people that are still there can get help, because they need it so bad. They need it so bad. They're going to have to rebuild their whole entire lives, everything.
Lizzie, I heard you say something that is just devastating for anyone who has lived in such a beautiful place. It's your home. You don't think that you will be able to rebuild right where you were. Can you just tell me why that is? Where were you?
I mean, just the terrain in general, driving on it, before all this, walking on it, any of it, it's intense. It's not an easy route. I mean, there's curves. The roads weren't in great shape to begin with. And now that they're completely destroyed, there's no way in or out via car, barely human. I mean, helicopters only had a few spots, just a few, maybe only 2 or 3, where they could safely actually land. And for most people to be able to get to those spots, it's physically impossible. So...
Tyler, you said that PTSD is kicking in, and I know this is an area where people come, for example, to Chimney Rock because it's so cute, it's so beautiful. There's only about 140 actual residents there. What are you going through now, and what help do you think you and others will need as this goes on and on and on, trying to figure out where you go next?
That's what's been running through my mind the past day, pretty much. But we're definitely gonna need therapy from this. Our brains, we physically feel it, how traumatic it was. And I feel, fuzzy. It's hard to think of words to say and put thoughts together. And it was traumatic. And I think we're gonna be affected by this for a long time, if not the rest of our lives.
We don't know where we go from here. We don't know where everybody else goes from here. We don't know. We don't know.
We're looking at just more of the video that you took, and you all were helicoptered out of there, and you're seeing the sort of beauty of North Carolina and the devastation all at once. I just want to thank you both for taking the time this morning, because I know rehashing and going over it again can be really, really, really hard. But thank you for talking us through it, and also for reminding people there are people that are still there. They are trapped. They are stuck. They have very little help that can get to them at this moment. But the authorities say that they are trying, and they will do everything they can to try and save lives at this point. But this has been an extremely devastating storm to hit the area in which you live. Thank you so much for coming on this morning. I know this was really hard.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Take care of yourselves.